Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. So this video is the first in a new series that I'm starting for the new year, and this is going to be called something like Subscriber Sunday. I may or may not change the name of that, but basically it's going to be where you guys, my subscribers, send me in a video, we watch the video together, and then I tell you how to improve, or I help you. So you would typically send me in something like a problem that you're working on, either on the violin or the piano. So maybe you've got a technical issue with the instrument, violin or piano, or maybe you're stuck on a particular passage in a piece of music, or maybe you just want to take your playing to the next level. So you play a piece of music and you just want me to help you improve the tone and maybe polish that piece of music up. So you would send me in a very short video clip. I will put the details underneath this video on what I would like you to do, but it's super simple. You would send me in maybe a 30-second to 1-minute video clip of the problem. You don't even have to talk on the video, and we'll watch the video together, and then I will go through and take you through all the steps on how we would solve the problem together. So it's not only going to be beneficial to you or the person who has sent in the video, but it's also going to be beneficial to everybody else that I'm sure is probably having the same or similar problem. So let's get straight onto it. So the first video we've got is Kati from Quebec, and she's having a problem with a particular passage or one bar or one measure of music. I'll put the little bar of music on the screen now that she's having problems with. And it's basically she's having problems with chords, or what we would call in the violin as double stopping. So here is the video of Kati and the problem that she is having.
Hi Alison. I would need some help to play bar 17 in the ABRSM piece C3 called Intermezzo. So here I do play it. As you can see, I do need help. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Kati. So the passage that we're looking at here, we've got a C, which is third finger on the G string. We've got an F natural, which is second finger on D, and we've got an open A. So already the first problem we've got here is that our fingers are quite bunched up on the string. So what you're going to have to do when you do double stopping is when you put your third finger on the G, you're gonna have to kind of just tilt your hand over. I know it's very awkward to do this, but if you put your third finger on the G string as you usually would, I can guarantee that you're gonna be touching, that finger is gonna be touching on the D string. Now we don't want that because the D string is gonna be playing something else. If we have our second finger on the D string for an F natural, and we just let our third finger hang over the G however we like, that's the sort of rubbish that we're going to get. So we don't want that. So what we actually want is a C on the G string, which is this one. Then we want an F natural on the D, and then we want an open A. So try not to let any of your other fingers touch that. So that's what we've got. Now, as I said, what you're going to have to do is move those fingers over. So you're probably not going to be able to see, but as I've got my third finger on the G, what's happening here is that I'm tilting it. You're not really going to be able to see too well, but I'm tilting it over so that the other side or the other part of the pad of my finger is not touching anything else. So you're going to have to kind of lift it up and round, which is very awkward in double stopping language, but you know, it's the way it is. It's kind of the next step up in your playing anyway. So make sure you've got that third finger on the G, and then you've got your second finger. Now for this one, what I would recommend that you do, because of the nature of the chord we've got here, now I would bow, flat bow. If you're double stopping, always bow on a flat bow. You don't really want to tilt a double stopping because you want to try and get as much clarity and tone as you possibly can. So flatten the bow, and also if you notice where I'm bowing, now I never normally bow on the fingerboard, but you're gonna have to bow on the fingerboard here. The reason for this is that you want to hit those 3 strings all at the same time because you're playing a chord. If you were playing this on the piano, you'd play the 3 notes down, boom, down it would go on the piano, and it would all go down on the same time. You can't do that on the violin because you can see the bridge is angled. So the closer to the bridge you are, the more angled the strings are. And if you notice, the further onto the fingerboard you go, the flatter those strings are. So have a look at your own violin and you'll see what I mean. So closer to the bridge, you've got more of an arch. close to the fingerboard, those strings are now slightly flatter. So trying to play that chord and trying to play all those 3 notes at the same time, close to the bridge. I mean, not only do I get a horrible scratching sound anyway, but I physically can't do it because the strings just aren't flat enough. But here, sort of maybe half a centimetre into the fingerboard, the strings are flat enough for you to play them all at the same time. Now, it might sound a little bit rough, but that's fine because that is the nature of the piece. It says poco pesante as well, which is, pesante is heavy, poco is a little, so it wants it to be a little bit heavy. So it kind of almost wants it to be, you know, so it wants it to be a little bit like that because it's supposed to be heavy. So that's absolutely fine. And if you notice, they're all down bows as well, and they've all got accents on them. So that's fine. So you're going to have to just get used to sort of tilting your fingers over, which is awkward, but nothing else is really happening here. So once you've aligned those fingers in, it shouldn't be a problem to play. Now what I'm doing here is I'm playing it with the down bow, and I'm staying near the heel of the bow as well, and then retaking. I know it does sound a bit scratchy now, but that's just purely because I'm just slowing it down. If you speed up the bow, then you don't get that so much. And then the next chord, so you've got a little kind of grace note on the D and the open G, which I would do with an up bow. And then the next chord is on all 4 strings. Now, you're never going to be able to play all 4 strings at the same time, and we don't want to go... When you see these chords, do not do that because that's arpeggiated. So the only way we can do that in the violin is by sort of breaking it up into 2. So we do it in the bottom 2 strings followed by the top 2 strings. So you're sort of stopping the bow, repositioning the bow, and then moving them down on the top 2 strings. Sounds a bit fragmented now, but when you put it together, and that's about as close as you're going to get to playing a chord on the violin. Now with that little kind of grace note you've got there, it's... So you can see I'm doing it like that, but sped up. And that's what it sounds like all together. And then your last final note. So putting that all together... Do it one more time. And that's how you would play double stopping, guys. So even though we're talking about a particular passage here, it doesn't matter. It's exactly the same thing. And that's how you would tackle double stopping. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been useful to you, particularly Katie, and to anybody else who might be working on something similar. Again, if you guys want to send me in your videos, you are welcome to send me your videos. I will put all the details directly underneath this video on how you can send them to me and what, you know, any kind of expectations. But it's super simple. Just send me in a video clip and I'll address it in the video just like I have done here. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.